What was it like growing up on the reservation?
My father was selling drugs throughout the reservation. The only things that I have ever done, I washed Bitcoin through several Cash App accounts.
I have to ask you before you continue any further, are you about to get whacked for talking about all this on the Gecko show?
Call from
Ratiron Tagsate.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, what's your name?
Well, you can call me Cam because, I'm sure my name is kind of hard to pronounce.
What's your name?
Ratiron Tagsate.
Say it one more time.
Ratiron Tagsate.
Okay. Ratiran Pagsate?
Yes.
Why'd you shorten that to Cam?
Well, so it's a long story. So I grew up in a part of the Iroquois Confederacy, and basically, I'm Mohawk native. So we have names that are given to us by shaman, and then we have our birth certificate name, which is usually Americanized.
Oh, okay. So your Americanized birth certificate name is Cam, and
Yeah.
your real name is the other one.
Yes, exactly.
What do your friends call you?
Oh, they just call me Cam.
Does anyone call
It's a
you
lot
by your real
easier.
name?
No, because I moved out a little bit ago, just off the border of our reservation, about 9 years ago, I would say.
Hmm. How old are you?
I'm about to turn 19.
Oh, cool, man. Where was your reservation again?
It's in upstate New York. It's called Aquasasni. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Mm-mm. Is it like a well-known reservation?
Yeah, I would say so.
How big is it?
It spans from about I'm bad with my Canadian what would you say, like geography, I think. Like under Quebec, and then it goes all the way to like downstate New York.
And you grew up there your whole life?
Yeah, I spent some time in Italy. That's pretty much all of my heritage is native and Italian, so I've been hopping through families pretty much all of my life.
What was it like growing up on the reservation?
Well, I could definitely get into a lot of the dark history of stuff up here. Well, we have a lot of gangs up here that are run by, MS-13. We have like a separate branch. So the way that a lot of things work up here anyway, I guess you can break down gang activity throughout. Even just the United States is a total of, easiest borders to enter. And we get a lot of opium and crack and meth and stuff like that up here. So, there's a lot of poverty, and a lot of our, just in upstate New York in general, our kind of local culture is propped up by drugs.
Hmm. And were you ever involved in any of that stuff growing up, or did you manage to stay away from it?
Well, it's a yes and a no, I guess. My parents met. My father was selling drugs to people, all throughout, the reservation. Him and another addict were, using a charity organization to, I guess, pump money through. And that's where he met my mom, who was using at the time. And, there was a lot of drama there. But, on my mom's side of the family, we have a lot of run-ins with mafia, especially in Dragheta. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's Sicilian mafia. My third cousin, I would say, was pretty close with I'm trying to think, Tony Bennett. Do you know that musician?
Tony Bennett, no.
I think if the opening song of Goodfellas, I think Rags to Riches, he wrote that song. Well, so hypothetically, allegedly, however I may phrase it to not land any of us in any trouble, but they lived with each other in Watertown, New York for a while, and his fame was pretty much brought up on money being funneled through local mafia sects, I guess you could say. And that's one of the many things that brought, his rise to fame, and that's where that side of the family got, I guess, connected with some of the mafia. And I do have some brothers and sisters back home, in Italy anyway, that do still run. The only things that I have ever done, I washed Bitcoin through several Cash App accounts. Somebody would make a purchase on some form of illegal goods, and I would get the Bitcoin, take 10% of it, and then send it through multiple accounts to get to the main account. But I stopped doing that, especially because recently I've started to actually have a family. My girlfriend, soon to be fiance, has been a major part of my life, and it's the reason I won't go in the military now is because I don't want to risk any of that anymore. And I mean, I could very well, go into, criminal organizations at any moment in time, or do more than selling weed. I mean, of course, everybody up here pushes at least an ounce a month, but, that's really nothing in the grand scheme of things. But
I have to ask you before you continue any further, are you about to get whacked for talking about all this on the Gecko show?
I don't believe so. I mean, a lot of the people who I mentioned are dead, and a lot of the people are either arrested, and a lot of the people that I do know who are, currently engaged in this sort of behavior are usually across seas and whatnot. I did want to bring up one thing, but before I forgot, I did call you at one point. Do you remember the name P-Ball's Pretzel Shop by any chance?
Yes, I do. I do remember that.
Yeah.
It was a front the whole time?
Right?
The pretzel shop was just a front?
Yeah, nah, I got that removed, by the way, just so then, if I ever were to call you again, you wouldn't, get a little bit worried, for my safety.
Damn, dude, I don't remember what we talked about or whatever. I think I was probably
you were
tired
mostly worried.
and on the way
You
out.
Yeah,
But,
that was pretty much what the conversation was.
Yeah, I do remember that. But that aside, well, okay, I have a bunch of questions. Okay, first of all, what do you mean? Isn't weeds legal in New York? Well, how are they pushing an ounce of weed?
Well, because everybody grows. I mean, since it's legal, it's you can go to any neighborhood, any little crack house on the side, and you'd feel like, hey, can I go see your shed? And you'll probably see at least 10 plants. It's technically you're not supposed to have that many plants, but at this point, so many people are growing that there's pretty much nothing anybody can do. Especially the cops around here are fucking awful at their job. The amount of shit that people do on the daily, it's just impossible to regulate, especially because so much of our, like I was saying before, our economy is propped up so much on illegal drug use. Some of the in the town that I live in right now, we have 3 main restaurants that are all run by this one guy, and he was pushing coke to probably the entire North Country. It's been a not very hidden thing, especially because
your life is a movie.
I probably have the most boring life out of any of all these crackheads up here.
Cam, are you okay?
Oh, I'm fucking wonderful. If it's the breathing thing, it's because I'm smoking a cigarette.
Okay, yeah, because you're breathing heavily, and I didn't know if you were having a heart attack or what was going on. But I want to know. It's been cool hearing about the. I don't know about cool, but it's been interesting hearing about the lore of your town and your family. But tell me about you. So you were what working washing Bitcoin for some mafia folks, and now you're 18, 19, and you're moving out. Where are you? Like you're not still on the reservation, right?
No, I'm like right on the outskirts. I mean, it's right now. I'm mostly just focusing on working, volunteering, so I can become a chef. I'm planning on going to the Culinary Institute of America sometime next year. Yeah, I'll be one of the first people, maybe other than like two people in my family, who actually went to college and completed it because of all the crazy shit that happens up here.
And so you're gonna go for culinary. And what's your ultimate goal? You want to be a chef?
Yeah. One of my plans I was making with my friend is that we were going to run a place from. There's this big highway that goes from like pretty much all of the East Coast, through Baltimore to all the way up to New York, and we wanted to open up some lounges for electric cars where you could like sit down, eat, maybe hang out, have a drink, play some arcade games, whatever the fuck, while you wait for your car to charge. I've been recently writing a menu for it, trademarking some shit, but that's pretty much my goal right now. And
do you have to have an electric car to go to this restaurant?
Well, no, but it certainly is definitely going to be built around that. I mean, I hope to have things be, mostly environmentally friendly, stuff that, I guess if your average electric car user, smug as a motherfucker, thinks that they're great for the environment, even though they perpetuate, child slavery in fucking mines in Africa sort of thing. It's like, all that organic food stuff, like, hey, I'm into it. Like definitely don't get me wrong on that. Like, I'm into it, but I think it will be a good, an easy market to corner.
Give me some menu items. Is this like a Chuck E. Cheese style chili fries, hamburger shit, or are we going classy? Just throw me some menu items.
Well, right now I'm working on breakfast items. I learned how to make a really amazing hollandaise sauce. I was one of the only people in my culinary class before to actually pretty much get it on the first try. I had some experience at one of the places up here. Don't really remember the name right now, but they were voted by the New York Times of having the best hollandaise sauce. But I wanted to play around with that some for morning options. I wanted to. Right now, I'm more in the stage of not necessarily the actual menu creation, rather than ingredients that would work well in this sort of thing. I was thinking a lot of pescatarian stuff. I mean, some of my family right now, delivers fish, some of the best quality, like $38 per pound salmon, shit like that. So like I was thinking, mostly. I guess whatever would qualify as like hipster food. I haven't gotten into that market right now, but right now I'm working at a co-op, with like a food co-op, and I'll be getting some more experience in that sort of market because it is kind of meant for, I guess, environmentalists and vegans and vegetarians, etc.
Nice. This is cool. You got a real life going on. You got a wife too? Tell me about that.
Oh man, yeah, it's this is gonna sound a little bit crazy, and I know it is, but no, I've been seeing this girl for a while. She's been a amazing part of my life. We almost had a child a few months ago, but she unfortunately miscarried.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That was one of the things that I kind of took as a sign of, maybe it's time to wait, no matter how, depressing it is. But
wait, just real quick, you prefaced this by saying you were going to say something crazy.
Yeah, we have been together for less than a year. But I've connected very well with her and all of her family, and it's been the first time I really believe that I've been a part of a family. I mean, I've been pretty much traded and used as a token piece for all of my life, and it's nice to be able to, I guess, settle down and have a feeling of actual family rather than, you know, being the, oh yeah, you're too immature or fucking psychologically mangled in order to have this child, so I get passed between parts of the reservation, parts of Italy, parts of Malta, you know, farther up the United States. You know, I live with my grandmother right now, so, you know, it's at least unstable, but I'm kind of, it gets lonely. I mean, most of the time I'm here by myself, but I do plan on moving in with her pretty soon.
Okay. I mean, look, man, I don't think that's that crazy. I think you've definitely been through a lot of stuff. And this is definitely providing you with a lot of the things that you felt as though you didn't have when you were growing up, or that you are, you know, I mean, that you just didn't have in your life at all. But it's funny to me because despite everything that happened to you, you know, or maybe not even just maybe, you know, would inspite be the same as despite? I'm going to say it is.
I think so.
I'm going to say it's not. I'm crazy. I was just going to say, it's interesting because even though all that stuff happened, you know, you're a very, you know, just at least from talking to you, you're a very mature guy, and you've got a lot of plans for your life, and you know, despite all of the universe's attempts to fuck you up, you've stayed, it seems, at least to me, pretty resilient. So I admire that.
I mean, yeah, this is where I guess the downside coming is. This is one of the things that I wanted to talk about, is that, you know, I feel like despite, I do believe I am a creative person, and I mean, I don't like to talk myself up. It feels a little bit wrong, but, you know, it's been one of those things where, you know, there's so many different things that I want to do, but I feel like I don't have the mental tools to be able to do a lot of the things that I want to do, and it's just been difficult because, I mean, I love music and I love art and I love cooking. It just feels like, you know, whenever I try to do any of these things, it fails. But I have this issue where whenever I think I'm being smart about something, I have this dilemma. It's like I am either being stupid, which is causing me to feel like I'm being smart about it, or I'm, you know, being smart about it, but I'm too, I guess, too stupid to realize that I'm being smart. And I've run into that issue a lot, so it ends up in me giving up on a lot of things that I do.
Cam, I'm gonna be honest. You've lost me on this, but I would love to hear an example, and maybe I'll understand.
Well, like, I have a lot of, you know, I talk my ass off, if you can't tell already, you know, especially after I started doing, you know, mushrooms and shit. You know, I feel like my voice has been more important to me than ever. And it's like, I'll tell somebody an idea I have, and the first thing I think is like, wow, this is such a smart idea. And then I go, no, I'm not being smart. This is probably something everybody else thought. I'm just being stupid, and that's what's making me.
Well, let me tell. Well, I'll tell you this much about what you just said just now is we're you know, look, I'm about to get all Tony Robbins on you and shit, but I mean, yeah, everyone's had every smart idea, but it's about what you do, right? So, look, yeah. I don't know how active your plans are for this Tesla cafe, but it's about what you do. And when you're young, I feel like, I mean, don't go into a crazy amount of debt or, you know, do something like fucking stupid. But when you're fucking 19, you can just try stuff. You know, you can just go for it. Especially right now, you know, when you don't have a child, if you don't have a child and you don't have, I mean, because that's a huge responsibility, and, you know, nobody else is really like, you know, depending on you to eat and live, you can kind of just take the time to screw around and see what happens. I mean, that's what's great about that time in life. And it's cool that you have all these different ideas because you can just say fuck it and give one a try.
I worry about becoming my father, and I will explain that. It's like, he does this thing where he goes on these tirades about, like, oh yeah, I should pitch this idea to fucking Elon Musk about, mining hydrogen on fucking whatever planet. And I'm like, and then he sketches out this whole fucking thing, does all this crazy shit for absolutely no reason, and then just sits on his ass, and like he's not a bad dude, but he is a parasitic type, I will say. He.
Are you saying he's all talk?
Yeah, that's one of the things that kind of, it makes me mad, to be honest. Like it's like he talks himself up and talks up all of his ideas, but he never tries, and he puts down everybody in his way. Like he thinks that he's much smarter than everybody else, and it's sad to watch him burn through friendships and relationships. I mean, I don't live with him, we don't have the greatest of relationships. I mean, I've beat the fuck out of him multiple times. But all definitely deserved. But it's just, if that gives you any insight into the kind of person, I guess maybe that I am or that he is.
Well, Cam, I mean, you have a self-awareness about this stuff. You have a model that you do not wish to follow. And so I think that's going to be a helpful thing for you. I don't know what your dad's dad was like, or if you thought the same thing about him, but yeah, man. I just feel like if you have don't have so many ideas that you don't end up actually doing anything. I think you know that. But you're you've been through a lot. You seem to be an enterprising young guy, and so I would take whatever energy you have right now, and instead of shutting your eyes and thinking as many fucking thoughts as you can possibly think, and as many ideas about everything as you possibly can, just go and try some stuff.
Yeah, I it's definitely difficult, especially not having a mode of transport or any capital. Like the jobs that I do work are strictly volunteer work.
Okay.
So
then why don't you focus on whatever idea? Because look, I'm sure you have a billion ideas of things that you want to do. You talked about music. You talked about whatnot. You're probably a little bit opening up a restaurant requires more capital than you currently have, which is fine. But I'm sure you have plenty of ideas that don't require any capital or don't require you to leave your fucking computer. So why don't you start with those?
Yeah, I think that it would be in my best interest. It's just I'm one of the people who gets demotivated when I don't do something correct or feel like I'm struggling learning something, and that's one of the things I've. You're not like a Zen master guy. You're like 19. Just fuck around. Just fuck. I swear to God, just like you can get so wrapped up in your own head about perfection and whatnot, but just fuck around, dude. Don't attach. You're attaching so much direness to it. It's not a dire thing. Just play. Okay, this should be play at this point. That's definitely that's definitely right. I tend to, I guess, worry about these things a little bit too much when the only thing I can really do is have action. And
plus,
and that's, I feel like.
I was gonna say at this point, anything that you're doing that's not dealing drugs seems to be a pretty good hobby or endeavor for you to be doing, considering all the things that you've been telling me.
Honestly, dealing drugs is such it's like, I will never recommend it, but I will say it is the easiest, fastest, and least you have to put the least amount of work in. And it's I think it's helped me. Like I was gonna somebody owes me some money, and the next time they pay me, I'm gonna be getting one of those Google certificates. I don't know if you've heard of those. They're like $50 per month, and you get to learn like
you can get Google certified to be a crack dealer.
No, no, you can get like Google certified to like do like cybersecurity and like business management and shit. And like I will never, if my morals are, I'm never going to sell anything to anybody if I know that they're abusing it, or if it's like, that's why I don't sell like crack or heroin. It's just like weed, shrooms, if I have an excess that I feel like it's gonna go moldy or something. It's more just it's definitely no I'm no Scarface for sure.
Okay.
But
well,
I like to do good with those sort of things.
Well, I don't know. I guess somebody's gotta deal shrooms, but what the fuck am I saying? Cam, look, here's the thing. I'm gonna leave you with this. You have a billion ideas that you want to do. Go do one of them that's not selling pot or drugs, or I mean sell pot. You can sell pot legally now. Soon you'll be able to probably sell shrooms legally. So whatever. Maybe you will. Yeah. Maybe eventually the law will catch up to that big brain of yours, and you'll start the first shroom delivery app or whatever the fuck it is. But
love to.
Cam, it's been nice talking to you, man, and thanks for sharing all this stuff.
Yep.
And I hope that things go well for you. And if I ever come to this Tesla place, I would like for you to give me a free grilled cheese sandwich.
Dude, on the house, everything, anything you want, man, you got it, man. I do have, if I'm not intruding at all, I do have one last piece of advice to like ask for, if it's not anything that would bother you.
What is it?
Well, so recently I've been talking to my ex, not in any like weird way or anything like that. It's strictly a friendship thing, because we dated about 6 years ago, and she was a really close friend of mine, and I don't like. Do you think that's a bad idea? Like, it's not. We wouldn't get into anything. She's been an amazing friend, and I'd love to.
Does your fiance know about it?
Yeah, I told her about it, and she wasn't like yippee, but she also wasn't like, "Grr, that's awful. Why would you do that?" It was kind of a neutral thing, so that's been bearing on my mind, because I do feel bad.
I'm terrible with this kind of stuff, man. I got no idea. I mean, this is just your friend, right?
Yeah, it's like I feel bad to a certain extent, because it is somebody I used to date, but I am a very loyal person, so I know that I'm not going to do anything, and if she were to try to do anything, I know I would shut it down immediately. But
I would I don't know, man. I don't want to tell you what to fucking do, but but yeah, because I don't. What the fuck do I know? I don't know, man. Just focus on building your. Dude, you have better things to worry about than this. Okay.
I guess so. Yeah, you're right. I appreciate it, though. Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling, Cam, and good luck to you. And I will be back at some point to redeem that free grilled cheese sandwich.
Of course, man. Have a good one.
Later, man. I don't fucking know. I don't know the answers to it. When he said, I liked talking to him. I like talking to him about his story and his life and getting into who he is. But when he's like, can I have advice on if I should talk to... Anytime someone's like, can I have advice on if I should talk to this girl or not? I'm like, I don't fucking know. I don't know at all. I don't know anything about life. If you're asking that question, the answer is usually like... The answer to that question 97% of the time is probably not. But around 97% of the time you do it anyway, because his brains, emotions, they're strong. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, who is this?
This is Natalie.
Well, oh God. All right, you have a dog. Can you
I do.
Can you throw your dog out in the garbage while we talk?
Yeah. Give me 1 second. I'll put her in the garage.
Cool.
Cool.
That's
cool,
better.
cool.
That's a much better idea than what I said.
Yeah. For sure.
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm
Hello?
still there. She should be good now.
What's your name again?
Natalie.
Natalie, what's going on? How can I geck you today?
So, funny story. Do you want the whole story or the short version?
Let's start with the short version.
My roommate matched with this guy on Tinder. Somehow I started talking to him. Fast forward 2 months, and now he's driving all the way from New York to Iowa and is visiting me here. And I've never met him in person.
And so he started out as he matched with your friend, and then how did you start talking to him after he matched with your friends?
I definitely catfished him for like an hour, and he thought I was my roommate. And then it turned out to be me. And I don't know, somehow he kept talking to me.
What does that look like logistically? You catfished him as your roommate. Your roommate is your friend that matched with him, right?
Yes. She's my best friend. She's my best friend. So
what does that look like? You like stole her phone or something?
Yeah, I was using her phone on her Tinder account, and she was sitting next to me the whole time.
Oh, so it was like, haha, well, actually, here's the number of the person you've been talking to?
Yes, that's what happened.
Did your friend like this guy? Did that upset her?
No, she's actually really happy for me. But it's kind of funny now listening to the story because he never actually talked to her. He just saw her pictures and matched with him.
He knows that he's talking to you, right?
Yes, he does know that he's talking to me. We've FaceTimed and all of that stuff since then, so he knows who I am now.
Why is your friend matching with dudes in New York if she lives in Iowa? Is she doing like the passport thing?
No, he's actually in the military. So he was visiting his family in Iowa and then went back to New York like the day after we started talking.
And how long have you been talking to this guy?
Like 2 months now. We just hit like 60-day streak on Snapchat bio.
How are you feeling about him coming to visit you?
I'm a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie, because in reality, he literally could murder me. Like, I don't know this man, really, besides over the phone, you know?
That is true. That is the risk that you run every time a stranger comes to your house.
Yes, and he's staying at my house. Like, he's staying here. He's not staying at a hotel. He's not staying with his parents. He's, like, staying here.
How long is he supposed to stay there for?
Just over the weekend, so, like, 3 nights. Not too bad.
Okay. Is your roommate going to be there?
I think she's going to be here a little bit of the time, but she might go stay with her parents at least one of the nights.
You know what's so funny is, do you remember, how old are you?
I'm 22.
Okay, do you remember taking, like, web safety classes in school?
I do remember that.
Do you remember when they told us they said things like, never give your real name out on the internet? That's what they started with.
They really
right?
did, but here I am giving my entire address to this man.
Right. And it's funny how, like, because this was in, like, elementary school. So I was in elementary school, I don't know, like 2008 or something like that. And the internet has changed to the point where everyone is giving out just their full address and social security number. Like, giving your real name out on the internet is like nothing.
Yeah, for sure. Are you suggesting I give my social security number to this man?
Is he offering you some kind of investment opportunity?
You know, I'm not 100% sure. I guess I'll find out tomorrow when he gets here.
Okay. Are you meeting him in, like, where are you gonna meet him? Like, at your house?
Yeah. Like, he won't get here until, like, 11 p.m., 12 a.m. tomorrow night. So, it's gonna be in the dark, in front of my house. Literally could be a horror movie plot.
I mean, would it make you feel better to, like, meet him in a not dark, late night place?
I don't know. You know, I haven't really thought about it. I was just kind of like, why not? You know, there's a first time for everything, and hopefully it goes good and not bad. Very optimistic.
Throughout the 2 months that you've been talking to him every day, has there been any inkling, indication, intuition that he might try to kill you?
No. He seems nice. He seems like a good guy. A good, stable guy. He gets out of the military in May. So, we'll see what happens after that.
Okay. Have you ever done anything like this before?
No, I haven't. I was in a 4-year-long relationship that I got out of like six months ago. And this is like the first guy I'm talking to again that I'm like serious about and kind of like. So hopefully I still like him when I meet him in person.
Well, you know, I don't want to undercut your intuition because you have the agency to, do whatever the hell you want. So I guess all I can do is hope that he doesn't kill you. I don't think this guy's gonna kill you. I don't know. I am myself. I'm a fairly trusting person, I think. I try to assume the best in people. I think I'll say this. I think mathematically, the amount of people in the world that want to kill you is so significantly smaller than the amount of people who don't want to kill you.
For sure. Have you ever done anything like this, Lyle?
Like met a stranger from the internet?
Well, I mean, sure, but like randomly at a dark place after talking to them for a couple months. Anything like
probably. I'm sure. I used to Tinder a lot. I'm sure I did something like that in the Tindering days.
Oh, for sure. So you're alive. So hopefully, I'm also still alive by Friday morning.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, look, if you're feeling that unsure about it, you could always be like, hey, why don't you get a hotel and we can meet tomorrow?
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling tomorrow. I think I'm just anxious about it right now, you know?
Okay. Are you anxious, like, from a social standpoint, or like just first date sort of anxiety?
I think so. Yeah. But it's just like a lot of build-up since it's like 2 months of first date anxiety.
Yeah, sure,
it's not
sure.
I just met him 3 days ago and we're going on our first date. It's like, no, 2 months.
Well, I mean, look, don't do anything that, it makes you have a bad feeling about, but I'm gonna manifest. I used to make fun of manifesting, and I still don't. I still think it's a little stupid, but I'm kind of coming around to it. I'm gonna manifest that this guy doesn't kill you, and that you have a fun and a wonderful time with him throughout the visit.
I appreciate that. Manifesting all the positive vibes for me and my roommate who has to deal with this random guy in her house for the next 3 days.
Maybe have your roommate stay home for a little bit.
Just in case.
It's not a horrible idea.
That's fair. But she's gonna be my wing woman, so she'll be there to support me at least the first night, and then she can leave.
You know what you should do actually is you know what you should do? You should have her answer the door and be like, "It actually was me the whole time."
That would be hilarious. Maybe I will do that. Say that she was telling me what to say.
Oh, she was telling you what to say?
Yeah, because if we FaceTimed, he obviously saw my face.
Right, yeah.
So maybe she was just texting me the whole time.
What's your name again?
Natalie.
Natalie, is there anything else you want to say to the people at the computer before we go?
No, you're the best. I appreciate you.
Thanks, Natalie. I hope that you don't die, unless if it's like of old age, which wouldn't be for a long time, I don't think.
No, for sure. I hope you don't die either, Lyle.
Thanks, man. See you later.
Okay, bye.
What's up, Lyle?
Dude, I wanted to call you because last week we got a phone call from this girl who was talking about how this dude that she met on the internet and has never met in real life, and she's been talking to him for about 2 months, is gonna drive 15 hours to spend the weekend at her house, and she was afraid that this guy was gonna kill her, but also was looking forward to the potential of course, that not happening, and of this being a fun weekend of bonding and merriment. And then I got a text from you saying that you are the guy, and you wanted to let me know how the weekend went.
Yeah, the weekend was great.
And this is and I want to point out this is from a different phone, which means that you did not kill her, steal her phone, and text me from that.
Yeah, no, she's totally alive. She's alive and well.
Great.
Her roommate's watching this.
Cool.
The weekend went great. I actually got an extended stay because I had car issues and I couldn't get back to New York. So actually, instead of leaving on Monday, I left on Wednesday.
Okay, so I mean, tell me how the weekend went.
It was good. The first few days were a little shaky, just getting to know her. When I showed up at 1 a.m., it was super awkward. Her and her roommate were just sitting in the living room, like parents when you come home late at night. But like, she hugged me. I wasn't expecting it. I thought we were gonna maybe I was gonna sleep on the couch or something, but all seemed to go well right off the bat. And then I got a shower, and then we slept. And then Friday and Saturday were really busy. I met her parents. She met my parents. I don't know why, but we did. And that went well.
Wow. Wait, so she met your parents? Do your parents live in this place that you went to? Do they not live where you live?
No, I live up here because, as she said, I'm in the Army. But I'm from Iowa. I'm from near where she lives now.
Okay. So you two met each other's parents, and then did you explain to her parents the circumstances of you guys meeting and how you've only known each other for like a day?
Her parents knew everything about me before I even saw them. She was giving them all the info in case if I killed her or something, which I didn't.
And how was your interaction with her parents?
Dude, her parents are so cool. I get along with her dad so well, and her mom's really funny, and they were really cool about the whole thing. Her mom was asking for updates like the whole time I was there, which was funny.
How deep into the weekend did you talk to her mom?
I saw them on I want to say is Saturday morning, Saturday morning, and then I met her parents for breakfast with her grandma, and then we went to her other grandparents' house, and I met her aunt and her other grandparents, and we all hung out as like a group. I met her brother, but that's all of the interaction I had with them.
Did anyone from the family seem to be wary of you?
I don't think so. They were all pretty welcoming. I think it's just because, I don't know, she gave them good word on me before I met them.
Okay. Now, I remember from my conversation with her that you initially had matched with her roommate on the dating app, and you were talking to her roommate, and then she started texting you from her roommate's Tinder. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And now, when you were there, was any part of you were you glad that it was her and not the roommate? Not
in a negative way towards her roommate, but yeah, I was. Her roommate's not my style. She definitely is way more my style, which was nice. That's
a very That's a very diplomatic answer to what I'm just realizing was a trick question that I gave you.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like a dick on the phone. You know, her roommate's watching.
Now, where are you now? Are you back on base?
Yeah, I'm back in New York.
Okay, are you gonna go back to Iowa anytime soon?
We've talked about me visiting for Thanksgiving, and I'm definitely visiting for Christmas. It's just, financially and with my car problems, I don't know. It can be tough to visit as often as I want to.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like in the future, are you planning to go back to Iowa, or are you going to stay in New York?
Oh no! So I get out of the Army in May, and I'm definitely moving back to Iowa for at least a little bit, and probably going to live in the same area that she lives in now. And I've even talked to her because my parents said I could bring a friend with. We're going on a trip to Germany in May, and I talked to her. Maybe I'd take her with because she likes to travel.
That's awesome. Do you wait? Can you call her? Can we three-way you guys in? I feel like I talked to her. I haven't. I feel like I talked to her beforehand. I talked to you after, and now I want to talk to both of you guys at once.
I don't know how to add someone into the call. If you could help me. Oh, here we go. Yeah, we'll see how this goes.
All right, sweet.
It's a three-way call. Hold
on.
Natalie, he's here.
Natalie.
Hi, Lyle.
Hey, Natalie, what's up?
Nothing much. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's good to speak with you again. This is cool. I don't usually do follow-ups, but after that last call, I remember there being a lot of people in the chat being like, you should call her to make sure she wasn't killed by that guy, and it appears you were not.
No, I am thankful to report that he did not show up here and kill me.
And you had your room. You were like debating whether or not your roommate was going to stay there with you too.
Yeah, my roommate did end up staying the whole time. So that was nice, as a nice little backup, just in case anything did happen.
So what was your review of the weekend?
I would say the weekend went well. We got along really well, and we had conversations every day. I don't really think we got tired of each other that easily. And yeah, it was good. We're still talking. Nice.
I guess, is there anything in particular that you were talking about on our last call that you want to update anyone about, or any details that you want to share with the people about the ending to this?
I don't know. I think it really was kind of funny because the first day we actually hung out is when his car broke down, and it could have gone terribly, and we were at a pumpkin patch, and he could have gotten really mad and just yelled and been a terrible human being and acted really negatively towards it. He ended up laughing, which I think was a good silly way to start the weekend, and then obviously end it with a joke. And so it did go really well, and I didn't die, and I'm very thankful for that. And so everybody in the chat should be happy that I'm safe and sound and still in Iowa, alive and breathing.
Would you recommend to other people that they invite strangers from the internet to their house at the middle of the night so that they can have similar beautiful experiences as you?
I would say if you have FaceTimed them beforehand and know stuff about them, then sure, why not? But if it's someone you've only texted for like a day, maybe not so much.
What's the guy's name again?
Lucas.
Lucas, is there anything else you want to say to the people of the computer before we go?
Don't show up at random people's houses because I don't know. It's scary.
What did your parents think about all this stuff?
My parents were just like, yeah, as long as you don't end up ball gagged in her basement, it's okay. And even if that does happen, just try to wait it out. They're very supportive.
See, that's true. You could have killed him too.
You know what? I could have. He said that he purposely.
As I came through the door.
He said that he purposely took duct tape out of his bag so that we didn't think he was some sort of serial killer.
Why do you keep duct tape in your bag?
I keep duct tape and super glue on me all the time.
Have you ever had to use it?
Oh yeah, you super glue. I don't know. I like quick, easy ways to fix things. I would have used it on my car if it wasn't metal.
Well, you guys stay on your toes around each other.
Yeah.
All right, take care, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Lyle.
Lyle. Talk to you later.
That was nice. I don't know. I think on the last call, when I was talking to Natalie about all of this stuff, it was a little strange, right? Well, I was a little agnostic about it, right? Because it's like, well, on meeting a stranger from the internet, high risk, medium to high reward, right? Because, well, the risk is that the person kills you, but that's the worst possible that could happen. But the best thing that could happen is that you get married and have children and live forever and ever happily, and the best thing that's ever happened to you in your life, and blah 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 blah. So I don't know. I guess it's high risk, high reward, but don't bring duct tape if you're gonna do that.